The NCAA transfer portal has become somewhat of a punchline in modern college football. But the question we are going to ask today is, should Coach Swinney and his Clemson Tiger coaching staff start to utilize the portal the way that other teams are? After the bumper, let's go. Good afternoon, everybody. It is your boy, Pigskin Pete. Happy Wednesday to everybody. If you're new here, make sure you hit the thumbs up and the subscribe button. I do these college football videos and live streams year-round. There is no off-season for Pigskin Pete. So, the transfer portal situation at Clemson in Dabo Swinney's tenure has been non-existent. And when I mean non-existent, I mean that Coach Swinney does not accept transfers. It's been an unwritten rule that they don't take, they're not interested in transfers from other schools. And a written rule, very well-known policy, if you want to say, of Dabo Swinney's, that they will not even entertain the idea of taking a JUCO transfer. When you look at the landscape of college football, whether you love the transfer portal or hate the transfer portal, it is now becoming another form of recruiting, basically. Look at all of these schools that are using the transfer portal to their benefit. Miami comes to mind. Obviously getting Derek King from Houston, and then they just picked up another wide receiver from Oklahoma. Those are immediate impact players. There are some very, very high-profile transfers in the transfer portal right now. TJ Carter, defensive back from Memphis, former 5-star. Arik Gilbert, LSU tight end, former 5-star. Very talented LSU linebacker Ray Thornton, a 5-star offensive lineman from Tennessee, and many, many, many more. Now, to Dabo Swinney's credit, he did say earlier this season when he was asked about the transfer portal and utilizing transfers, he did say he was not 100% opposed to accepting transfers. In his words, it's just something we haven't had to do yet. I'm going to give you my opinion on why I believe Dabo Swinney is mostly opposed to accepting transfers. We all hear the phrase all in that Dabo Swinney uses all the time as sort of the unofficial tagline of Clemson football. He really means that when he says that. What he means by that is, if we recruited you when you were in high school and you chose to go to LSU, Alabama, Georgia, instead of come to Clemson, then you're not all in on Clemson and you never will be. And I believe he knows if he starts accepting these 5-star transfers from, say, LSU or Tennessee, that he's got guys that have been there, that have been committed to the Clemson program for 2 and 3 years, that he might have to bench them for the new guy, and he doesn't want to do that. Now, from the outside looking in, you could say, oh, this is dumb, this is stupid, this is typical Dabo Swinney, up on his soapbox, on his high horse about Clemson's program. But to this point, it has worked, and it has worked magnificently. Now, as a Clemson fan, I would not want to see the coaching staff use the transfer portal every year and get multiple players out of the portal and have a constant revolving door of players coming in and out. But I don't see anything wrong if you have a position of glaring need to get an experienced guy from another program for 1 year or 2 years. Now, I'm not suggesting Clemson should go out there and try to recruit transfers, every single 5-star transfer that's out there in the portal, go try to grab them because they're great players. No, they still have to fit the culture. They still have to fit what Dabo Swinney is trying to do within the program. But you can't tell me that all these players in the transfer portal, I think it's up to 1,000 or some crazy number like that, that there's not 1 or 2 guys in there that do fit the culture at Clemson and what Dabo Swinney is trying to accomplish. For instance, this 5-star Tennessee offensive lineman, that is an area of need for Clemson. He could make an immediate impact next season. Now, that's assuming he wants to come to Clemson, but Clemson is an extremely attractive landing spot for some of these guys, right? So it's a great, one of the top programs in the country. They're always in contention. The coaching staff is intact and has been for a long time. There are a lot of things that are very attractive to guys like this Tennessee offensive lineman, to guys like TJ Carter, to come to a place like Clemson. I already know there's naysayers out there that say, oh, well, you don't want to take away a potential scholarship from somebody who wants to sign out of high school and give it to a transfer from another school. I'll go ahead and tell you, every single season that Dabo Swinney has been head coach, they usually end up under the scholarship limit by 2 or 3 players. We have scholarships to spare most years. It's not as if you're taking away a scholarship from one player to give it to another. So all my fellow Clemson fans out there, let me know your thoughts about this in the comment section. If you're a fan of another team, let me know how the transfer portal or lack thereof has affected your team, either positively or negatively. Have a great day. Pigskin Pete is checking out.